In Hollywood, success isn't just about talent, it's about who you're associated with. And if that someone happens to be Brad Pitt, your career doesn't just grow, it explodes. This is the Friends with Brad Pitt effect, that magical career transformation that happens when Hollywood's golden boy decides you're worth his time. From Matt Damon to Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill to Jason Statham, George Clooney to Shia LaBeouf. Today we're breaking down how a single friendship with Pitt has launched careers to the stratosphere and created some of the most iconic moments in modern cinema. First, we have Edward Norton. It's 1999. A little movie called Fight Club is about to change Hollywood forever. Edward Norton was already building a solid reputation with American History X and Primal Fear. But the moment he and Pitt shared the screen, everything changed. Their chemistry wasn't just electric, it was nuclear. Every behind-the-scenes photo shows these two laughing like teenagers. Norton called their time on set an experience of pure laughter and creativity. When director David Fincher suggested Norton actually hit Pitt during a scene, he did it. A real punt right to Pitt's ear. Most A-listers would have called their agent and stormed off set. Pitt? He just rolled with it. That painful reaction you see in the movie? 100% authentic. Before Pitt, Norton was a respected dramatic actor with 1 Oscar nomination. After Pitt, Fight Club turned him into a full-blown cult icon virtually overnight. What's fascinating is how Fight Club went from commercial disappointment to one of the most influential films of all time. Initially polarizing critics and underperforming at the box office, it found its audience on DVD and exploded into a cultural phenomenon. Today it's referenced everywhere, from memes to college courses. Brad Pitt's charismatic portrayal of Tyler Durden became the definition of cool, dangerous, magnetic, and unforgettable. And Norton? He got to ride that wave of cult status for the rest of his career. The career explosion was immediate. He directed and starred in Keeping the Faith, joined Spike Lee for 25th Hour, performed magic alongside Hugh Jackman in The Prestige, and eventually joined the Marvel Universe as Bruce Banner. The real jackpot in 2014, when Norton starred in 2 Oscar-winning films in the same year, Wes Anderson's Great Budapest Hotel and Birdman, which won Best Picture and earned Norton his 3rd Oscar nomination. That's the Brad Pitt effect. Speaking of Fight Club, let's talk about how Brad Pitt transformed director David Fincher's career. Fincher was reeling from the disaster of Alien 3, his directorial debut that left him so bitter he almost quit filmmaking entirely. Then came Seven in 1995, his first collaboration with Pitt. The studio wasn't convinced about casting Pitt in such a dark thriller. They saw him as a pretty boy from Legends of the Fall, not a gritty detective. But Fincher insisted, saying, "Yes, absolutely," when executives questioned his choice. The gamble paid off spectacularly. Seven became a massive commercial success, grossing over $230 million on a modest $30 million budget. Suddenly, Fincher wasn't just a music video director who failed at his first movie, he was Hollywood's most exciting new filmmaker. Their second collaboration, Fight Club, initially divided audiences, but eventually became one of the most influential cult classics of all time. By their 3rd film together, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Fincher had completely transformed into an A-list director, earning his 1st Oscar nomination. Under Pitt's star power, Fincher was free to develop his meticulous, dark style that would define modern cinema. Their partnership allowed him to take creative risks that other directors could only dream of. The most exciting news? After a 17-year hiatus from working together, Fincher and Pitt are reportedly reuniting for a new project at Netflix. Some industry insiders speculate it could be a sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, with Pitt reprising his Oscar-winning role as Cliff Booth. Next we have Guy Ritchie and Jason Statham. Some Pitt friendships begin with a phone call that changes everything. After Guy Ritchie's 1998 debut, Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels caught Brad's eye, Pitt himself called and asked to be in Richie's next film. Imagine being virtually unknown and suddenly Brad freaking Pitt wants to work with you. The result? Snatch, where Pitt delivered one of his most memorably bizarre performances as Mickey O'Neill, a bare-knuckle boxer with an accent so thick you'd need subtitles. Before Pitt, Richie was an unknown British filmmaker with one cult hit. After Pitt, he became an A-list Hollywood director with access to the biggest budgets and stars. Snatch became an international hit, grossing $83.6 million. Richie went on to direct the Sherlock Holmes franchise, starring Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law, earning over $1 billion worldwide. He later directed Disney's live-action Aladdin, which crossed the $1 billion mark. That's the difference one Brad Pitt connection makes. And speaking of Snatch, let's talk about Jason Statham. Before Pitt, he was just that bald British guy with a cool accent selling fake jewelry. After sharing the screen with Pitt, everything changed. The former diving champion and market stall seller transformed into a global action superstar with franchises worth billions. He landed his first lead role in Trainspotter, joined Stallone's Expendables ensemble, became part of the Fast and Furious franchise, and starred in the $530 million hit The Meg. From fake watch seller to action icon in the span of a decade, the Brad Pitt effect in its purest form. Next we have George Clooney. Sometimes the Brad Pitt effect works on guys who are already doing well. Case in point, George Clooney. They joined forces for 2001's Ocean's 11. Clooney was riding high from his ER days and had a few movies under his belt. But something magical happened after he and Pitt started hanging out. Their chemistry in Ocean's 11 was like watching two cool kids who somehow made everyone else in the room feel cooler just by proximity. Let's be honest, before Ocean's, Clooney was handsome and talented, but after standing next to Pitt while wearing those impeccable suits, he leveled up to become the modern definition of Hollywood cool. These two recognized a kindred spirit in each other, both charming, both talented, and both with that mischievous, "I'm definitely planning something" twinkle in their eye. Before Pitt, Clooney was a TV heartthrob, transitioning to movies with mixed success. After Pitt, he became an Oscar-winning actor, director, producer, and global humanitarian. He made his directorial debut with Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, won an Oscar for Syriana just 4 years after first working with Pitt, directed the critically acclaimed Good Night and Good Luck, became a UN Peace Ambassador, and received the Cecil B. DeMille Lifetime Achievement Award at just 53, unusually young for such an honor. The cherry on top? In 2018, Clooney became the highest paid actor in the world after selling his tequila company for $1 billion. Now that's a career transformation. Now let's look at Matt Damon. The Pitt effect wasn't just about Clooney in the Ocean's franchise. Matt Damon experienced his own transformation. Before Ocean's, Damon was known as the serious intellectual from Good Will Hunting. After hanging with Pitt, he gained the perfect dash of charm and swagger. Before their collaboration, Damon was a serious dramatic actor and screenwriter. After joining the Pitt circle, he became a versatile A-lister who could do action, comedy, and drama with equal success. He landed the Jason Bourne role, creating his signature franchise, starred in Scorsese's The Departed, received an Oscar nomination for Invictus, won a Golden Globe for The Martian, and produced the Oscar-winning Manchester by the Sea. By 2019, he was earning $55 million for a 60-second Super Bowl commercial. That's what standing next to Brad Pitt in a well-tailored suit will do for your career. Then there's Jonah Hill. If you want the most dramatic before and after in the Brad Pitt friendship portfolio, look no further than Jonah Hill. Before 2011, Hill was that funny, chubby sidekick from Superbad, the guy making crude jokes. Then Brad Pitt happened. They met through mutual friend Edward Norton at a Radiohead concert. When Hill read for the role of Peter Brand in Moneyball, both Pitt and director Bennett Miller knew they'd found their guy. The studio executives? Not convinced about casting the comedy guy in a serious baseball drama. But Pitt insisted. He He saw something in Hill that others missed, and his star power made it happen. The gamble paid off spectacularly. Before Pitt, Hill was a comedic sidekick known for crude humor. After Pitt, he became a two-time Oscar nominee and respected dramatic actor. Moneyball earned Hill his first Oscar nomination. Just 2 years later, he scored his second nomination for The Wolf of Wall Street. He later starred in War Dogs, made his directorial debut with Mid-90s, founded his own production company, and co-starred with Leonardo DiCaprio in Don't Look Up. From inappropriate jokes to Oscar stages in the span of just 2 years. If that's not the Pitt effect, what is? Let's not forget Shia LaBeouf. By the time Shia LaBeouf teamed with Pitt for 2014's Fury, his career was in desperate need of an image overhaul. The former Disney child star had gone from cute kids in Even Stevens to leading the Transformers franchise, but his public image was spiraling due to bizarre behavior and legal troubles. Enter Brad Pitt, the career rehabilitation specialist. Before Pitt, LaBeouf was a troubled former child star with diminishing credibility. After Pitt, he transformed into a respected method actor and independent film darling. Their relationship on set was intense. LaBeouf referred to Pitt as a brother. Rather than treating him like a troubled former child star, Pitt approached him as a serious peer and legitimate artist. Following their collaboration, LaBeouf starred in critically acclaimed American Honey, winning the jury prize at Cannes, wrote and starred in autobiographical Honey Boy to critical praise, and won Breakthrough Screenwriter at the Hollywood Film Awards. Pitt didn't just help his career, he helped rebrand LaBeouf from troubled star to serious actor. And finally, Leonardo DiCaprio. By 2019, Leonardo DiCaprio was already Hollywood royalty. After finally winning his Oscar for The Revenant, he had nothing left to prove. But what he gained from his friendship with Brad Pitt during Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was something even his mountains of money couldn't buy: a softening of his polished, somewhat distant persona. Their chemistry on screen wasn't just cinematic gold, it made DiCaprio more relatable, more playful, and dare we say it, cooler. That's the Pitt effect. Though this marked their first major collaboration, these two A-listers had been circling each other for decades. According to Pitt, their friendship seemed pretty automatic when they finally got together. Before Pitt, DiCaprio was an intensity-driven actor with a somewhat untouchable image. After Pitt, he seemed more relaxed and willing to show vulnerabilities in his performances. Following their collaboration, DiCaprio starred in Don't Look Up, showing more comedic range, and reunited with Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, earning his 8th Oscar nomination. Critics noted a new dimension in his acting post-Pitt, as if hanging out with Brad had somehow made Leo more comfortable showing his human side on screen. His upcoming film, One Battle After Another, sees him playing a disheveled, vulnerable revolutionary trying to save his daughter, exactly the kind of emotionally complex, less polished character that defines his post-Pitt era. So what makes Brad Pitt such a powerful career catalyst? It's a perfect storm of factors. First, the spotlight effect. When Pitt chooses to work with you, the world pays attention. Second, the credibility transfer. His serious actor reputation instantly elevates anyone he works with. Third, the network access. His connections opens doors that would otherwise remain closed. And finally, the image enhancement. Standing next to Pitt makes you look cooler by association. The true measure of influence isn't just what you achieve, it's what you enable others to achieve. Beyond his box office success and awards, Brad Pitt's greatest legacy may be the careers he's transformed. From directors to co-stars, producers to writers, his impact extends far beyond his own filmography. That's not just stardom, that's influence. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Brad Pitt effect, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Which career transformation surprised you the most? Let us know.